So here's something not to worry about when you are painting a landscape. You don't have to worry that much about where the light is coming from. Certainly when you have several levels of perspective. You know, we have the sky way back there, we have these hills, we have this cabin, the water, this in the foreground. Already indicated is that it's a cloudy sky. So you can have clouds breaking the sun here and there, they can reflect from the sun, they can do all kinds of things. Unlike a still life, where you typically would use light only from one direction, or at least the strongest light from one direction, you're not bound by those rules. They're not rules, by those guidelines. So I don't have to, you know, in general, the most important thing here is the light is coming from left to right, because that's how it's hitting the cabin. The main feature of the painting. It doesn't mean that I have to have strong light on the left-hand side of these trees and shadow on the right. It doesn't mean that I have to cast shadows on these trees either. You don't have to have the same light on every tree, because you don't know what's going on off scene. You know, and people understand that. Anything can be happening off scene. The main thing has to be the painting. It's about the painting. Or as I think one of our prime ministers said years ago, it's about the economy, stupid. I don't even know why I made that segue. Anyway, I think this is coming fine. I have put some light coming in here. I'm going to do what I've done before. I'm going to bring this light down here, and I'm going to curl it around. I'm going to throw the eye back into the center area to a degree. Still going to have it, you know, fairly low values in here. Not going to worry about that right now. But as you can see, I've done very little. I've tidied up the water and worked on this. The original photograph is very different. I have lost, definitely, what I wanted to recapture was, let me just get that photograph. What I wanted to recapture was the character of that painting, and I have already lost it. But that's really only because I introduced more detail to it. You know, that's it. I love it. It's very strong. I don't think it would be possible for me to introduce a cabin in that painting and have the painting remain as strong as it is. I can forgo that. But using this as inspiration still has provided me with the brevity to use a lot of broad strokes. And that's what I am going to do. Now we have this going down. We have this indicated line going down. We have this line going down. Right now it looks a bit silly. We have way too much sloping in the same direction, one line supporting the other, of generally the same shape. But I'm going to lay some light across the top of this area here, leaving a bit of a lower value area down here. So that's okay. That's going to oppose this other stuff. Also, these trees, not this main one, but these trees, I'm going to cut the sky into them quite a bit so that they, although they are vertical trunks and, you know, in this case leaning to the right a little bit towards the top, in general that'll be so broken up by the sky poking through in different areas that these will not feel so much like a cluster of three heading to the sky. They will lose some of their strength. Also, I am going to take these values into mid-value areas so that they are not very important. They're not as dark as they are now, and the lightest parts will not be as light as they are. Not as light as this, but not as dark as the darkest parts of the trunk. So that'll mitigate that problem. that'll help the flow of the whole painting to move around this way. This trunk and this trunk, mainly this trunk, is going to provide the meat and potatoes. It's going to be very dark on one side and not on the other. Again, on this photograph, on this painting, as you can see, the light is coming from, well, I guess right to left, very strongly. And that's because the painting is about the foreground on that other painting. Here, the painting is about here. It's not so much about the foreground. And I think it would benefit the painting not to have the light coming from the right, because I've already established that really, you know, the point of interest. The subject of the painting dictates that the light is coming from left to right. So instead of having the light on this side, dark on this side, I'm going to lay some light on the left side, and this will be in the shadow down the right hand side of each of these. These will be sort of, as I said, middle of the road, you know, ambient light maybe. This is ambient light. There are no strong light strokes here. The strength of the light is here, but it's been laid in softly because although it's very high value, it has soft edges. The value here is not as high, but the chroma is much higher, and it has hard edges. That's what aids you to make this strong, this powerful. So again, I haven't done a whole lot. I just wanted to run through that quickly. The weather's still pretty hot, but I think I'm gonna go riding on my bike tomorrow with an old friend of mine who, well, it's usually he and I who go out riding on our motorbikes. So we're gonna go out and play. So I hope you have a good weekend, and we'll talk to you soon. Bye.